the Way TV. So today's episode is going to be a special episode. My co-host of Clubhouse, Tonya Alberti, will be joining in with me for today's podcast. And today's topic is going to be a solar flash and the event. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
Okay, so hi everyone. So today we're gonna talk about the event and solar flash. And some people are saying this gonna happen, and we're gonna share with you guys our insight and what we think about this, and if this is happening to you or not. So I'm gonna start out. So 3 years ago, I was doing this regression before I do my hypnotherapy thing to my client, and I did see solar flash, and then I did experience it. It was about 4 days, but that was 3 years ago, and I worked on myself, and a lot of stuff happened, and then I was kind of wondering, is this gonna be the same now? So a few days ago, I did same regression, and my result was obviously it didn't happen to me. I didn't experience any of it. And then what I saw was me and Tanya. We are in a beach in Clearwater, and we did see the Pleiadian ship landing. Our star family, and that's about it. But I heard solar flash happen to other people, but not to us. And that was my thing. Um, my understanding is you are the one who create your reality, and then when you release a lot of dense stuff from you, you will experience less stuff. Means the ascension process will be more simple and smooth transition instead of experiencing solar flash. So that's my opening so far. What do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there's a lot of people out there talking about this, and there's I've heard a lot of varying ideas on time frame and what's going to be experienced and when this is going to happen. Like I've heard people say that their guidance has said it might be next year. I've heard people say it's not going to be till 2030, and I really think when it comes to it, I think you're right. I think everybody's on their own timeline, and based on what you're creating and where you are in the ascension process will determine whether or not you experience this whole solar flash thing. Um, but I mean, just to kind of go back to the beginning for those people who are unfamiliar with this topic and what exactly it is, why don't you kind of explain a little bit about what the event is, like what it is in regards to ascension? Because I think a lot of people who may be unfamiliar with this might be confused as to what we're talking about when we're talking about how people might be experiencing it differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the event is like when we do hypnotherapy, like especially the regression, doesn't necessarily like past life regression. We do future hypnotherapy too. Means clients gonna see what happens in the future. So a lot of people, like my colleague and other people, started to sharing the client experience that people experience this certain ascension event. Usually come along goes with solar flash, like some light is everywhere and kind of solar flash, and then people boom suddenly ascend. Means we're not gonna relocate ourselves to different earth, but suddenly the frequency of the world around you will change because of the solar flash. You get you get cleansed or something, and then because of that, most of the human being reached ascension frequency, and that's what people are talking about. If I put in a very simple manner, what is your explanation of the
Yeah, I think it's like how I would probably best explain it is it's kind of like this internal and external manifestation within each individual person as we go through the ascension process. And like I said, a lot of times people are talking about that this is going to culminate with this great solar flash and the ascension of humanity and planet Earth and all beings involved, and even our solar system as we raise our frequency to the fifth dimension. But the fifth dimension, as people think about it, it's not another place. Like you said, it's a state of mind, it's a consciousness, and where it's like unity consciousness, where everything is connected and we're all feeling that unity with everything that exists, and that this event is going to manifest by raising this mind and awareness and opening people up to unconditional love and vibrational living. So people are going to be experiencing different things. Some people are going to get like tingling in their bodies. Some people may feel dizzy. People may feel like they're floating as we get these changes to our DNA. Things, we're going from like the 2-strand DNA to the 12-strand DNA and various steps along the way. And I think when it comes down to it, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be happening. Our monetary system is going to change, and things are going to be much better as far as equality for people. And it's this elevation to this higher consciousness and this mass awakening that's going to take place. But I've also heard people talking about two different earths and timelines, like people like staying in the lower vibrational timeline of earth, and then people also moving up to that 5D frequency. What are your thoughts on that, Erica?
Yeah, so um I'm a matrix energetics practitioner, so I did experience myself personally how you shift one timeline to another. It's kind of similar to Mandela effect, but like something happened days ago and then suddenly everything changed, a lot of stuff changed. You don't forget about what happened yesterday, right? So when you release a lot of dense energy, something hold within yourself, right? Emotions or traumas and stuff like that. When you release, what's happened is you shift yourself into higher frequency, means higher dimensional field. So when a lot of people are doing that, or if that happens, let's say by people are working on themselves, like during the COVID or something like that, doing like personal development and stuff like that, working on themselves or working with us, stuff like that. When that happens, and then the soul itself decide, okay, I'd like to ascend, I want to experience happy abundant society instead of choosing fear kind of timeline, then you will shift yourself into that particular timeline. Because when you look at two timelines, let's say if you release a lot of heavy stuff, that means you get closer and closer to love, closer to peace, closer to harmony. So you will align yourself into that timeline instead of fear timeline. So my understanding is when people are, sort of at the soul level, decided to stick into fear timeline for whatever the reason, then I think people make it more like 3D concept of to Earth spreading. But that was kind of like analogy of which timeline people choosing. That's my understanding.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think you're right with that 100%. Um, the other thing too, I want to talk about this that I think might get people a little confused is I think as we go to this, as this occurs, and as we have this great awakening, not only, like I mentioned, is the monetary system going to change, healthcare is going to change, all these upgrades are coming, as well as, disclosure coming out and our galactic families being involved in helping us, as we raise this frequency and become more of the 5D Earth. what are your thoughts, Erica, on the Galactic Federation and the work that they're doing right now to help us along this journey?
Well, the most of the high frequency societies, the galactic society, are helping people on Earth because the configuration of DNA is different from each person. I'm not talking about race. It's different from each person, and depends. A soul decided to born into the family, which got nothing to do with your soul family relations. It's different, but all of us in general do have a multiple galactic DNA plus original Earth DNA. So a lot of high frequency galactic society consider us as a cousins, if I really put it in a simple manner. So it kind of makes sense to help out families, right? And they want people on Earth to be the part of a galactic nation. Means instead of acting like a, I'm sorry to use this word, uncivilized people, means hating each other, killing each other, ranking each other, looking down at each other based on the religion or skin color or whatever that is, or sexual preference. So once people reach to certain consciousness, you look at people as a soul, and then you look at the other, being from nation as a soul, then you can be the part of the peaceful nation, and then you can contribute yourself to serving for others. So that's why the galactic federations or other higher frequency galactic societies are helping people on Earth. And part of the reason why they're helping on Earth is they don't want to have any kind of galactic war, which in 4D level, many of us do have memories of what happened. And they want 100% peace all over the universes and galaxy, and Earth is a hot spot. So that's also their, they want to help out Earth.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's the thing that's so frustrating to me right now is that there's so much in, not to get into the whole cabal and deep state and all that stuff, but there's so much being put out there and perpetrated right now that is showing our extraterrestrial family and friends. And not that there aren't those of lower vibration frequency out there, of course there are, um, but the whole push with media to portray any any other being from another civilization as bad. Like they're already starting the narrative around, oh, we're going to be invaded and they're taking people and this is horrible and scary and we need to be afraid of them and we need to do Star Wars and prepare to go into space and to be able to fight because this is all coming. And you watch any movie that talks about any extraterrestrials, and the majority of them are very fear based. So, I just want people to understand that, we do have this cosmic galactic family, the Galactic Federation of Light, that are actually helping us, so I don't want people to be afraid. Because of all the stuff that's out there, in popular media and movies, and even as the government's talking about disclosure, if you pay attention, they're like feeding you these all these little things. Even like if you watch even the little snippets on the news when they talk about, oh, the Pentagon released this film of this unidentified flying object, everybody's immediately talking about this is a national security issue. This is a security issue. We have to worry. We have to be concerned. So I just want people to be aware, that that is not the case, that we don't have to worry about this. And by living in that fear-based frequency is what causes problems. So I just wanted to point that.
Yeah, so we just use common sense. Like, look at our society. Like, most of the people, wherever you are in our country, like for example in the United States, most of the people are nice people, loving people, right? But we see like minority of really evil people, right? Or on earth level, majority of us are very nice people, but 1% of people are evil cabal. So galactic is the same thing. Means all these galactic beings who are trying to help earth or are trying to encourage ascension is higher frequency being, means they are from 5D and up. Okay, once you go to 5D, it's very difficult for anybody to be evil. But all these fear-based beings are coming from 4D, and all these reptilians or anarchy or draconians people are afraid of, which they are ruling earth, and they are underground. Not all of them, like the good beings lives in underground too, but they are the head of cabal, not humans. So they are from 4D. So they the so people are afraid of, oh, we're gonna be invaded. The news flash, earth is already invaded for a long time. Stuff is happening to release all of us from this unnatural um structure of earth, because in general people do ascend with no problem. They don't have any kind of fake matrix energetic structure or anything or hologram. People will ascend no problem in natural manner without other nations' help, just like plants grow. But on Earth, there is a legend who came in to Earth a long time ago and decided to rule this planet secretly. And because of that, it took Earth and the humanity to took long time to even evolve to where we are right now. So this is a part of the reason why galactic federations or Ashtar Command or Pleiadians or Syrians or Acturians, a lot of beings are helping people on Earth, because nobody's growth should be disturbed, right? Because the prime creator wants us to grow, and any kind of high frequency beings understand our service to prime creator. That's who people call God. And so, you don't want to disturb the growth, and what is happening on earth is a lot of disturbance, and this is a part of the reason why they are helping us.
Right. And that's the thing. And that's why when we talk about these regression sessions, it's amazing because we can actually, whether we're doing past life regression or future life, whatever, that we can get a better understanding of who our galactic family is, who's working with us, and we can develop that relationship a little bit better once we kind of know our origins, whether you resonate with being a star seed or not. Um, you can then have a better understanding so that when you are connecting with your guidance, you can ask your galactic family to help bring you into this awareness and help you with these downloads and upgrades as we're moving through this. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring that up. Um, what else did you want to talk about with regards to the event and the solar flash, Erica? As we're
Yeah, it's really important for people to understand that you are the one who is creating your reality. So if you think the event or solar flash resonate with you, that's fine, right? That's where you are at. But if you don't really feel this gonna happen, and then you will experience smooth transition, you don't have to borrow other people's creation and put into yours to mudding up for yourself. So just because, like, let's say other people gonna do predictions about what's gonna happen such and such a day, and then what, Astor or 90 Actuarians, they used to be my guide, are telling me was, you don't have to believe in anything other people are predicting unless it resonates with you, because you have to understand that you are the creator. You create. what you want.
Yeah. And I think that's so important because I think people, especially people who are either just waking up or are on the verge of waking up, get stuck in like this belief that they've been programmed with that they are not powerful. And we are all creators. We all create our reality. So the most important thing as we go through this ascension process is for you to follow your inner guidance, stay heart centered, and just understand, that primary creator, prime source is aware of everything. So it's nobody is going to have, we all have the right to our free will. That's like the first decree that we all have free will. And it's kind of like we have that chance and opportunity to decide what we want to experience. But knowing that free will, we need to stay out of that ego, but stay in the higher self. And that ego has only free will for the moment and if it's aligned with the higher self, that way we're able to follow that guidance of the heart and show that love and compassion, acceptance, faith, surrender, letting go, and all of that. So, with regards to the process of ascension, as we're moving through this, we don't have to be worrying about living in fear. And I think there's so much of this push for fear out there, especially with, what's going on, because they're trying, the like you mentioned, the 1% that's the cabal, the draconians, the ones who are trying to keep us suppressed are the ones who are spreading all this fear about all this intensity with COVID and all the worrying about, they're trying to take control and power away from you because they don't want you to realize that you are a sovereign being, that you create your own reality and that you are powerful. You are able to do that. So you don't have to experience these things if you choose not to. And it's that awareness that I think is really necessary for people to know, especially for people who are newly gone through the spiritual awakening. Don't you agree?
Yeah. And also make sure you are the leader. You don't have to follow anyone. I don't care how famous this guru is, just because this person is famous on YouTube or whatever, and the other people are like putting accolade on these people, that doesn't mean anything. If it resonates with you, that's fine. But just like free will, you don't have to agree on everything. Like, part of the reason why this is happening right now, the stuff, it's about we respecting each other's free will, right? Like, everybody don't have to do same thing. If you started doing that, there's no freedom. I hope people, you guys are realizing this. Like, we respect each other's differences, we respect each other's different opinions, we judge each other's different will. This is how we get to be the part of galactic society and be harmonious, because other cultures, civilization, even though they're high frequencies, they're different, right? So if you cannot accept a different point of view or different beings, how can you be harmonious with people? So when we look at the current situation, how we will practicing a different point of view, right? While we are like respecting other people's decision or action, as long as it doesn't harm you, right?
Right. And there are so many people out there with a variety of different thoughts and opinions on these things based on, what they've received from their guidance, what they believe to be true. And always, always, always don't, use your own discernment, use your own intuition to see what sits right for you, because somebody's truth may be their truth, but it may not be yours. So I mean, don't take everything you hear and everything you see and everything you read as gospel truth. Connect in with your own higher self, with your own guidance, with your own intuition, and see if that really resonates with you, if it really resonates as truth for you, because that's really important. You're not a mindless zombie to just follow everybody else. We are all individual sovereign beings. So, you are your own guru. So the best source of information is to go within.
Okay, so that's a segment of our Clubhouse episode, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And I hope you guys have a great New Year's Eve, and I see you guys next year. Happy New Year! Bye!